Welcome to the HowTheyLostWeight.com interview program, where you'll learn weight loss strategies and techniques from real people who've successfully lost weight and kept it off. We invite you to sit forward, get ready to take notes, and join your host and weight loss expert, David Fry, as he interviews today's weight loss guest.
Hello, my name is David Fry, and I want to welcome you to another awesome episode of the HowTheyLostWeight.com podcast. And this is the podcast where you get to hear right from the person's mouth how they were able to lose a lot of weight and they're able to keep it off. No guru talk, no PhDs, just people like you and me who are able to successfully lose weight. And today I got a special guest. Her name is Angie Davis, and she is from Nashville, Tennessee. She is an executive assistant to her husband. She used to run a mortgage company, and her starting weight when she started to lose weight was 278 pounds. And right now, she sits around 158 pounds. That's 120 pounds she's been able to release, and she is still currently really active and losing weight and staying fit and healthy. And so let's hear the interview with Angie Davis.
Hey, Angie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
Awesome. Okay, let's start out by telling our listeners where you're from and what you do for a living.
Okay. I am Angie Davis. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I currently work with my husband as his executive assistant. Formerly, though, ran a mortgage company, and I do some training on the side.
Awesome. So can I ask you a private question? How old are you?
I am 44 years old, but I feel like I'm 24. So
Cool. So tell us, what was your starting weight, and then what weight are you right now?
when I actually stepped on the scale, I was 278, but I was probably heavier than that because I just hadn't faced that scale. Currently, I sit at 158 to 161, depending on the day of the week.
So how many pounds is that?
A lot, about 120.
That is drop dead amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a person.
So how long did it take you to lose that weight?
About 2.5 years, because I did it slowly.
And what motivated you to finally start losing weight?
I had injured my Achilles, where the Achilles and the calf meet, trying to do a workout class. And then I actually ended up tearing it at my workplace, moving a Christmas tree. And I went to a doctor. I had to go see an orthopedist, and he told me that I needed to decide if I was going to be fit or fat, and I couldn't be both, and that my body was not going to sustain the amount of weight and pressure that I was putting on it. So if I was fortunate enough to have this injury heal without surgery, then I needed to do something about it. So
let me ask you a personal question. At 270, when you looked in the mirror, did you have any negative emotional feelings about that helped to motivate you?
I always had negative feelings about myself. I'd struggled with my weight my whole life. I was a professional yo-yo dieter. Even if you looked at childhood pictures of me, I was overweight. So yes, physically, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw, but it wasn't the final nail to make me make the decision.
What the doctor told you was the final nail.
Yes, because he basically said I was digging a slow grave.
So what specific things did you do to lose the weight?
Well, I was already exercising, but I didn't have the diet to go along with it. And so when people say it's a lifestyle, it truly is a lifestyle. It's everything you do. And it starts with what you put in your mouth, because that's 23 hours. The rest of the 1 hour that you spend at the gym, that's a very small part of it. So you've got to be able to control what you're doing outside of the gym. And so learning how to put the correct food on my plate, the right amount of protein, eating vegetables with every meal changed my world. I called it eating across the rainbow. I made sure I had a red vegetable, a yellow vegetable, an orange vegetable, a green vegetable, just to make it very filling, very, to make sure I got all my vitamins in. And then I always allowed myself a carb. People say no carbs, but I'm going to say there are good carbs. There are sweet potatoes. There's brown rice. There are things that you can do that you still get those carbs in there, because if you're not feeding your body with that, you're going to go into craving mode.
Were there any other things that you did?
I did go to Jenny Craig because I needed them more for counseling, more so than the food, because I don't know if you know a lot about Jenny Craig. They do offer food, but they offer support and talking about why I made the choices to eat what I ate, talking about the struggles that I had, because half of our social calendar is built around a table with food on it, and learning how to manage that. It was really, really important because, if you don't have a trainer or a coach walking along with you, you'll find a lot of excuses really fast. So I did add that onto it. The food was good, so when I traveled, I used it. But now I just watch my portions and kind of mirror the plate. It's half veggies, quarter protein, quarter carbs. So that's kind of what I do.
So how have you managed to keep the weight off for so long?
I make better choices, and every day is a choice, and every day I make a choice, and sometimes they're better than others. I still have days where I want ice cream, but instead of ice cream, I'll go for a yogurt. That is, a tart yogurt with some fruit or some dark chocolate in it. But I don't beat myself up on that, but I don't do it every day. Whereas when I was overweight, I would do those habits every day. Now it's just, hey, I'm really wanting this. My body's really wanting it. I'm going to have it. And I don't beat myself up, and I just start over the next day. I constantly still work out. I work out, I walk. I try to hit 10,000 steps a day. Measure that with a pedometer or a Fitbit, whatever you have. And I just keep moving. I try to find that when I'm stressed, I talk about it. I don't let it build up inside of me, and I don't eat my stress. So learning how to manage all that has really helped. Again, not beating myself up on a day where I wanted something sweet and had it. Because, I've worked hard, and we are human. And again, it has to be a lifestyle. We're not going to live in a bubble. So it's just never going to be perfect.
You mentioned you struggle with emotional eating when you mentioned stress. So how do you control those temptations to overeat and eat the wrong foods when they come?
The best advice that I had, and I still use it today, is I will drink a glass of water when I feel like I'm wanting something, because usually if you're really, really hungry, a glass of water is not going to fill you up. But usually if it's a stress or something, it's going to calm your stomach a little bit. The other thing I'll do is if I'm really, really super stressed, I'll go and take a walk around the block. Or when I was working at the office complex, I would go walk around the building. Just getting some fresh air or just a change of scenery, refocused. The other thing I am very, very adamant about is I never eat lunch in front of anything with a screen. That means my computer, my TV, or anything like that. Lunch is lunch, and food is part visual. So if you're not focused in on the food that you're eating and you're watching TV, you'll end up eating more. or you'll end up working more. And so that's part of the stress thing, because you need to take time away to just refocus, reset. And, by doing that, it's made a huge difference. Just a 30 minutes refocus a day it's amazing what it'll do.
You're listening to the HowTheyLostWeight.com interview program.
Well, did you have any obstacles that you needed to overcome when you began exercising? You mentioned that you do some exercising. Do you have any obstacles you had to overcome?
I would say the biggest obstacle was my mind, because in my mind, I felt like because I was overweight, I couldn't do the exercises that were being asked of me. But the truth is, I think that was a little bit of an excuse. I did have an injury, the Achilles injury that I was dealing with, and I still deal with to today. But I pushed past it, because a lot of that is mental, and a lot of it is knowing that I can do it. And if I physically can't do it, and I've given it the good old college try, then I ask for a modification. And just knowing that I may not be able to do a 36-inch box jump, but I can do a 24-inch. When I first started, I couldn't even probably do a 6-inch. I mean, it was crazy, but I had to go and mentally reset my mind to be like, you can do this. You've just got to get your head out of your way. And so I would say my biggest obstacle was my head.
Well, you just mentioned box jump, and you mentioned exercising earlier. What kind of exercising do you do right now?
Right now, I always do some type of 30-minute cardio, whether that be running. We have the Percy Priest Dam here in Nashville, Tennessee, which is a high elevation hill, and I will go and run that about 10 times. I mean, it is straight up. It's straight up hill. So it will gas you. I will run stairs, do stair jumps. I love a good jump rope. I keep a jump rope in my car. If it's super trafficy, I'll pull myself over in a parking lot and I'll jump ropes. I've done 1,000 jump ropes a day, something to get the heart pumping, because I think that's very important. And then I do some strength training. I like to do a lot of using my own body weight, push-ups. I do full push-ups, but when I first started, I did them on my knees, and they didn't look that great, but that's okay. I was still doing something. I do a lot of squats, lots of planks. Probably need to incorporate some more weights. That's probably a goal that I have for future. But for now, I like using my own body weight, because no matter where I'm at, I've always got that with me, so I can do that workout anywhere.
So describe the diet or the healthy eating plan that you're following right now. Be kind of specific with it. Okay, so I'll just take you through a day. When I get up in the morning for breakfast, I will have a English muffin, like a whole wheat English muffin with a little bit of feta cheese, a little bit of spinach, and I will put that in the toaster oven. I'll have a half of a banana, and if I want some caffeine, I'll have that. Or I may have like a small thing of chocolate milk, just because it's in the morning and I kind of like it. For a snack, I usually do a half of a protein bar, or, I'll have a glass of milk or a string cheese or some almonds. For lunch, I always have a large portion of, I love salad, so I will either make up at the beginning of the week, because I do some meal prep, I'll make up several salads, and I'll have a salad with either a chicken, a fish, protein on it. Sometimes I'll use a ground chicken and make like a taco salad, or my version of it, and throw some Greek yogurt on it. For dinner, I usually do like a sweet potato, either sweet potato, brown rice, some type of veggie. I think green beans,
asparagus, broccoli, something green, something orange. I usually will dice up a little bit of a red pepper and throw that in there for some color. I like squash. I like raw squash. So I may throw that in there as well, and then I'll have a protein with that. At night, my favorite go-to, and I'll call it a guilty pleasure snack, is these little Greek yogurt cups that you can buy at the store. Not a lot of sugar, and I'll freeze those and take a little bit of sugar-free pudding mix and mix it in there and kind of make my own soft serve ice cream. So it's pretty good. So that's a day in the life of what I eat. On the weekends, it could be a little different. I could go off base, and my cheat meal could be a little pizza that I make up myself, or we can go out and I can eat boneless chicken wings without the skin on them. But even then, hearing me say that, it's a much better choice than I made before I started losing weight, because it would be fried or a medium pizza from Pizza Hut. So, I'm still making better choices. I just consider it to be a cheat meal.
So how do you integrate your eating plan to accommodate the rest of your family?
Well, it's interesting. With Tim, he's kind of benefited from this as well. He lost 80 pounds. And so just because I changed our eating habits, he realized the food is good, and it's just as good. So I also do what I would call some healthy hacks. So if he's wanting brownies, I'll take Betty Crocker brownie mix, and I'll make it with pumpkin puree. Super good. And he has no clue what's in it. He's like, why are these so chewy? And I'm thinking, if you only knew, you probably wouldn't be eating them. So, it's just learning how, I guess, if people have children, they can disguise what they put in the food. It's the same with Tim. We'll make a baked taco dish, which has black beans, ground chicken. He thinks it's ground beef. He doesn't know. I'll put some salsa in there, some onions, some green peppers, but it doesn't have any tortilla chips. And, and then I will slice up a little bit of avocado, which he used to not eat, but he's like, avocados are good. And, it's just getting him past the try it, you might like it thing. And through this process, he's just learned that some of the food wasn't in the house. And when he did want it, he would go out and eat it and not bring it in. Now we're to the point that if he wants to go buy a snack at the grocery store, they stay here and I don't touch them. So if he wants, a thing of Oreos, he'll go get them, but I really don't desire that. So it's really weird after 21 days.
Do you take any supplements?
I do not take supplements. I tried, and I ended up having a reaction just gastrically to it. So it's not something that sets well with me. I do try to take at least something with some potassium in it, like a drink that would have the potassium in it. Sometimes smart water, electrolytes, something that's going to keep that going. But I haven't taken any vitamins. I found, though, with the amount of vegetables that I eat, it's kind of pretty amazing that, I think I'm getting everything that I'm supposed to have. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've had my blood work checked, and they're like, everything is so in line. It's incredible. So
looking back now on your weight loss journey, what would you do differently?
I would probably have done it sooner, and I would have done it better. I wouldn't have done more of the yo-yo. I would have sought assistance sooner. I would have gotten a nutrition person, a trainer, somebody to walk through that with me. I think too often I tried to start it on my own and just didn't have enough to push myself through to where I at least got to the point where I was mentally strong that, I still talk to my weight loss person, my weight loss counselor. I'll pick up the phone and call her when I have a question. So just knowing that person is there, that resource is there, and it's a no judgment zone is huge. So I would have sought assistance sooner, and I probably would have done more strength training while I was doing it, because I was heavy cardio when I was initially starting the process.
Interesting. Okay, so here's the last question. What are your 3 best pieces of advice to those who want to lose weight and keep it off?
Okay. The first one is try to make smarter choices when you're shopping in the grocery store, meaning shop the perimeter of the grocery store first, then go down the middle aisles, because everything you need is on the perimeter of the grocery store. It'll be your veggies, your proteins, and things like that. The second is there going to be days that you don't see the results, but that doesn't mean that you need to stop. And the third thing is just do something every day. Move your body every day for 30 to 45 minutes, whether that's walking, paddleboarding, boxing, dancing. Do something every day.
Your weight loss transformation has been nothing short of amazing. Anybody who can lose over 100 pounds and keep it off is just an enigma nowadays. And it is just amazing. And I want to congratulate you, Angie, for just an incredible accomplishment.
Thank you. Every day's a new day, and it's still a process every day. You never stop. I mean, food is an addiction, but but you can't stop food. You have to learn how to manage food. So it's a process for sure.
Thank you, Angie, for being on the show today, and it was an amazing interview. I hope that you guys learned a lot from Angie. Let's go over a couple of things. First of all, she said make smarter choices when you're shopping in the grocery store, and she advises us to shop the perimeter of the grocery store first. If you have to go down the middle aisles, and I personally rarely ever have to go down the middle aisles, because on the perimeter of the grocery store is where you'll find all the whole foods, and in the middle is where you usually find the processed food. So you should be buying almost all of your food from the aisles. So that is her first piece of advice to us. Her second piece of advice says that, there's going to be days you don't see results, but that doesn't mean you should stop. And I will tell you that in my own experience of taking many, many people through weight loss programs, at least 50% of the time or more, their weight stayed the same or actually went up a little bit while they were trying to lose weight. And so overall, you have to step back and look at the trend of your weight loss. And if you look back over weeks or months, you'll see that your weight is coming down. But if you look right up close, you'll notice that about 50% of the time, your weight's either staying the same or going up. And that's just how it is. Now, the third thing is she says, do something every day. Move your body every day for at least 30 to 45 minutes, whether that's walking, paddleboarding, boxing, dancing. You need to do something every day. That movement will help you to burn some calories, but more importantly, it will help your mind to think healthy. It will help you to live a healthy lifestyle, which will help you make better eating decisions. Now, before I end the podcast today, I want to invite you to go on over to howtheylostweight.com, because I have a special free ebook for you there. I wrote an ebook called Startup Weight Loss Exercise Guide. It helps you to create your own personal weight loss exercise plan. So if you're starting out and you want to know what exercises are right for you, what type of exercises you should be doing for what phase of your weight loss journey you're in, go download that book. It's free. It's called the Startup Weight Loss Exercise Guide, and it's over at howtheylostweight.com. I want to thank you guys for being on our podcast today and listening in. I hope that you tune in on our next episode. And remember, there's no secret to weight loss success. It's all about making good, healthy choices day in and day out and never giving up. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the HowTheyLostWeight.com interview program. We hope you were inspired today. and discovered a new tip, technique, or strategy to help you on your journey to lose weight, get fit, and stay healthy for life.